Hello ladies and gentlemen, Alduin here, back with another classic WoW video, and today we're going to talk about servers. A couple of weeks back Blizzard announced the servers that we will be playing on just after the final stress test, and to say the least guys, Blizzard's biggest shortcoming here was that they didn't add enough servers. The EU only got two PvP servers, two measly PvP servers, which I found hilarious. Did they really think two PvP servers would be enough to hold the majority of the EU player base? I know that Germany, Russia and France have their own servers, but not everyone will stick to their specific language realms, as a lot of players will want to play with others who are situated in different countries, etc., guilds and whatnot. So what has happened since? Well, they've added a fair amount of servers for both the US and EU. EU players now have 13 realms across the board to choose from, and the US have 18 realms and Oceanic still only have 2. I 100% think that they underestimated the amount of players that are going to play on launch day and the days following that. The amount of people who reserved their name not too long ago during the name reservation schedule was just a fraction of the actual player base that are going to play on launch day. It's good to know that they can bring up servers a lot quicker than they did back in 2004. You know, they've said they can do it by a flick of a button apparently. I really thought the amount of servers we originally had was just not going to work, and I think we all thought that. I think the Blizzard definitely underestimated, but I think all the players knew how bad it was going to get. The server queues, you know, were going to be ridiculous and still will be, even though we have a ton more rounds. I think the server queues, you're going to be there for a while regardless of what realm you go on. Maybe if you go on like an RP PvP server, then like the least populated server, you might be alright on. The last thing Blizzard want, and even us as a community want, is to try and log in on a server on launch day and you're greeted with a 7-hour queue, which I still think will happen on some servers like Shazra and especially Feralina, as that's the US streamer realm. I saw a lot of advocating for merging servers if the population were to fall off in a couple of weeks, a couple of months, maybe at the end of the year, which I still think will happen. I don't expect the tourists to last longer than 2 weeks, if I'm being completely honest with you. However, it'd be great if they did. It'd be great if, you know, people are expecting, oh, I'm just going to try it out, see how it goes, and then they're sucked into it and the population just grows. And I think, you know, that's a dream of mine, to have Classic WoW surpass retail and be, you know, the World of Warcraft, because Classic is the World of Warcraft. So the problem with merging servers is that in Classic, server identity is important to the majority of the player base. Back in the day you had Taran Mill, which was the infamous EU PvP server. You had Illidan in the US, and I think that because of these stories that were told and the impact players had on the server, it created a reputation for the server and those players. It created server communities where players felt like they were a part of one big family, and sadly that's something that's kind of gone away in retail WoW, and I hope comes back for Classic and retail. We already kind of doing away with Feralina being the streamer server and Shazra being the most populated EU server, which is going to be so populated, both of the servers. We have the chance at again creating these notorious servers, creating these notorious and infamous players and these stories that we can tell. I'm a little bit concerned with layering though, and how this affects server communities, because while it is being removed before phase 2, it's still going to affect the game in a positive and a negative way. I see people talking about layering being a necessary evil, etc. It's not necessarily necessary for the game to actually work. It's just a nice, convenient, you know, you do want players to log in, to be able to log in on launch day. But even back at the launch for Battle for Azeroth, people, I was in the queue for 4 to 5 hours, you know, I didn't get in at all, and that's with this new technology, that's with sharding. As we've all seen, people in the beta were layer hopping to farm profession resources from different layers, using the system to quickly get out of PvP situations. While I think it's good to use for the launch of the game, I still think that layering should be removed 2 to 3 weeks after launch. I think it just doesn't have a place in Classic for longer than a month, you know. For all we know, phase 1 could last 3 months, and they said they want to remove layering before phase 2, so that's 3 months of layering. or maybe more. And even though they can reduce the number of layers per continent, because each layer is basically a big shard of each continent. So Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor are on separate layers. I just don't think it has a place in Classic. You know, like I said, abusing layers to gain more resources to avoid world PvP. And to be honest, what if you're in a 200v200 epic battle in Blackrock Mountain, and then the layer overloads and everyone gets split up, or possibly the server crashes? I've seen videos of streamers going to fight the enemy leaders in the capital city on retail, and the server or shard just crashes. And this is something that is integral to having vanilla experience. You're just questing, and you see everyone in chat, Raid and Orgrimmar, you know, the Horde are coming over, tons of you pile up, you get together, you've got healers in the back, you've got the tanks at the front, you've got the mages at the back, you've got your melee ready to go. And I just think that this technology might diminish that feeling, that experience, you know, deteriorate these stories we can create of these epic moments going on in vanilla. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to make a quick video on this. I'm going to try and release a video every day or every 2 days, just to sort of get myself out there. You know, I'm going to start being more active in other YouTubers' discords, trying to create a dialogue between individuals and groups, etc. So thank you all for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Bye bye for now.